Hello, good morning, dear students. Again, we are with the series of reference to context and explanations of the important extracts from The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. Today, we have the text or the passage from this play, that is from Act 3 and Scene 2. Up to now, we have seen that the story has now reached at its climax. This scene is supposed to be the center scene of the whole play. We have the stories like the Bond story, Jessica's elopement story, we have the cascade story, and then we will have the ring story. So in this scene, all these stories are at its climax or are interlinked here in this scene. We have seen that two shooters, the Prince of Aragon and Prince of Morocco, who came to choose the right cascade in order to woo or marry Portia, they have gone because they failed to choose the right cascade. Now we come to know that Bassanio is there, who has come to marry Portia, and Portia also likes him. She also loves him, and she wants that Bassanio should choose the right cascade. And if he fails, that would be the great unfortunate or misfortune upon her. There will be no other way for her then. So she hopes, and she is also sure that Bassanio will choose the right cascade. And for this, she has managed a song being sung during the process when Bassanio is going to choose the cascade. Before choosing the cascade, Bassanio speaks these words, or that these words, this passage, this dialogue is spoken by Bassanio. So let me recite the text or the dialogue that Bassanio speaks. So may the outward shows be least themselves. The world is still deceived with ornament. And lo, what please so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with gracious voice, obscures the show of evil. In religion, what damned error, but some sober brow will bless it and approve it with a text, hiding the grossness with fair ornament. From this passage, in order to understand it better for you, I have explained or given the meaning of some difficult words. Like least themselves. Least themselves here means not at all what they appear to be. See the text. So may the outward shows be least themselves. Means they are not at all what they appear to be. So the appearance is not true at all. Seasoned. Seasoned here means giving a pleasing savor, taste. Giving a pleasing savor means taste. Sober. Sober means here serious. Then we have gracious voice. That is the sweet, eloquent voice of the pleader. Here we have the sentence. Uh, yes. In low, what plea, so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with gracious voice. So seasoned here means giving a pleasing savor, taste. Sober means serious. Gracious voice, that is the sweet and eloquent voice of a pleader or of a lawyer who puts his logic in the court or in the legal matters. Damned error. Damned error means the major fault, major false doctrine, principle. Some sober bro. Here some sober bro means some grave or reverend looking divine. Divine looking divine. That is some kind of priest or the preacher. Text. Text means here a quotation from holy book. Sometimes we also quote our holy books like Ramcharitmanas, like Mahabharata, like Gita. In the same way, the Christians also quotes from their holy book, that is the Testament, that is the Bible. Grossness means here enormity. Okay, let's see the reference to the context of these lines. Although I have already explained to you the reference and context, as we have these lines from Act 3 Scene 2 from The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. These lines have been spoken by Bassanio, who was making his choice for the casket. So, when he was going to choose the right casket or the casket, there was a song sung. And this was arranged. This song, this music was arranged by Portia herself. Sweet music. Why? In order to place Bassanio in tranquil mood, in a calm mood, in a cool mood, before he makes his choice of the casket. So, this song or this music was arranged by Portia herself, so that Bassanio may not get angry, may not be excited, may not be instigated, but with a tranquil mood, with a peaceful mood, with a calm mood, he may choose the right casket or makes the correct choice of the caskets. Portia also comments here that if Bassanio lost, as I told you, the music would be like the sweet music that may awaken a bridegroom on his wedding morning. That's why, so if by chance Bassanio fails, this music will be a kind of a weeping music for him on that loss. So after having listened to the song, Bassanio comes to the conclusion. When he listened, actually the theme of the song was like that, the music was like that, that Bassanio got the hint from the song, and it was arranged by Portia herself. So some critics also speaks or say that in fact, in order to give some hint, Portia arranged this song or this music for Bassanio. So Bassanio comes to the conclusion that outward appearance of things may in no respect correspond with the reality itself. That is, he comes to the conclusion that the outward appearance are always false and they may not show the reality in any respect. They don't represent the realities. And this is what we also find in our practical life. In other words, Bassanio means to say here that the exterior of the things is most deceptive. That is cheating. The exterior of things may cheat us, may deceive us, because they give no idea of their interior. For example, we go to the market, we are influenced by the exterior of the things, they are very attractive, and we are forced to purchase them, we are obliged to purchase them. But when we bring those things to our home, and we begin to use them, but very soon we get the impression that the thing was not the real, and that was the false one, that was not the correct one, and we feel that we have been cheated. So the same thing here Bassanio speaks. Now come to the explanation of these lines. In these lines, Bassanio seems to be carrying on the sentiment of the song. So it seems that Bassanio is going with the sentiment of the song, and that's why he speaks like that. The song tells him. So he gets an idea from the song. And what idea? That fancy means the gratification of the eyes. So the fancy means false, good appearing. Fancies always have the good appearance, and they gratifies our eyes. Bassanio understands it. We also understand that the artificial things attracts us, and they gratify our eyes, and we are attracted towards them. But we know that fancies cannot cheat so well, as Keats also said in his poem, if you remember. I think that is in Ode to Nightingale. That is in Ode to the Nightingale. Keats says, "Adieu, fancy cannot cheat so well." So the same meaning is here, that fancy, though it is the gratification of the eyes, but that is not true. Bassanio is moved to give other institutions of outward shows which conceal emptiness or corruption. So now in these lines, Bassanio gives us the other examples of outward shows, outward appearance, which always conceal means here hide, the emptiness or the corruptions. So the outward show always hide the emptiness of the thing or the corruption that is there. So Bassanio says that he gives the example of two examples here we have from him, one from the field of the legal, from the law, and the other that is from the field of religion. So from the field of law, Bassanio says what happens in legal matters. In most of the legal matters, we see that the most rotten cases are presented so well by the lawyers with their arguments, with their logics, that the presentation conceals the evil. So they present the most rotten cases, most failure cases, most defeated cases or the false cases in such a way that their presentation conceals the evil, the corruption, the actual crime. In the same way, Bassanio compares that presentation which conceals the evil with the tainted meal. Tainted meal means here the bad meal. But that bad meal can be spiced. So if the bad meal can be spiced, then it is seasoned to hide the real taste. So sometimes we also experience that some bad meal is fried or spiced, some rotten meal or the vegetables are spiced, and in this way what they do, they hide the real taste of that meal, and we eat that. So here Bassanio says, in the same way, in legal matters, the lawyers present the cases, rotten cases, in such a way that they conceal the reality, they conceal the corruptness, they conceal the evil and the crime as well. That is, he means to say that in all cases of law, the lawyer can defend the foul act. And we see that. We also know that it is the lawyer who defends the foul act, and with most specious arguments, and win the case. And sometimes they also win the case with their specious arguments. Although the cases are foul, they are not true cases. They are not the honest cases. Even then, it is the presentation of the lawyer that they win those cases with the specious arguments. In this way, he proves that the person who has been accused of a foul crime is absolutely innocent. So it is the lawyer who proves that the accused person is absolutely innocent, and he gets the relief, and he becomes free. He becomes innocent. He is freed from the court. So this is what we exactly see, or this is what exactly happens in all law courts of the world, that the accused, or that the criminals are saved or are escaped from the law because of the presentations or the logics given by the lawyers in the courts. So Bassanio means to say that this is what done by the lawyers. But the reality is there. Reality is hidden, and that doesn't come out because of the outward shows, because of the presentations. And in this way, he also says that the lawsuits are instituted, conducted, and wrongly judged. And we also have experience, we also know about that. And the real culprits in this way escapes, and innocents are sentenced, innocents are ordered to pay the penalties. Then Bassanio gives the another examples. Further he tells. What he tells? He tells, or he examples from the matters of religion. In the matter of religion, the same thing happens. The false superstitions are confirmed by the approval of some pious looking person, by the priest, by the philosophers, by the fanatics, or by the religious or the religion upholders, and who verify that false belief, quoting some words or examples from the Holy Scriptures. So there are many superstitions, and they are approved by the religious people who looks pious. And how they verify, how they approve those false superstitions, false beliefs? Just by quoting some words from the Holy Scriptures, from the holy books like Bible, like Ramcharitmanas, like Mahabharata. And they prove that this is true because it is written in the holy book, or because in the holy book it is written so. So these false superstitions are being verified by them. So Bassanio here tells or gives the another example in the matters of religion. So in this way, so many false beliefs and superstitions though they couldn't exist in the human world. We know that these beliefs and these superstitions are false and wrong, and they don't exist in the human world. But they are supported by so-called pious people, so they stand there, so they are there, and we also begin to believe in them. So it is because of the presentation of the lawyer as well as of the pious looking persons that the false superstitions, false beliefs and the wrong persons are proved right or correct, and we follow them. So again he says that these pious persons have actually misled the human race from age to age, and as a matter of fact, all religious doctrines, all political creeds, they are nothing but inventions of some ignorant or weak brains. This is what. So this speech of Bassanio is very important, is very significant in the whole play, because it reflects his knowledge, his ideas about the life, and we come to know how he expressed his thought or his ideas before he goes to choose the casket. So he says that these religious doctrines, all the political creeds, they are nothing but they are just the inventions, or just they are created by some ignorant and weak brains. And we people, what we do? All these doctrines and false beliefs, they are followed by the common people, because the common people are ignorant. The common people are not intelligent one. They have no brains, and therefore they just follow what the pious looking persons or what the lawyer says, and they also don't have the courage to challenge them also. So in this way the false beliefs are very much, or the superstitions are very much prevalent in our society even today. So this is what Bassanio speaks before he moves towards the choice of the casket, and he speaks. So we saw in the previous scenes that Prince of Aragon and the Prince of Morocco, both of them chose the golden casket and the silver casket. So it is the audience or we people know that Bassanio now has to choose the leaden casket. But Bassanio doesn't know what they chose. And this is only the fear that was in the mind of Portia. And that's why Portia arranged this music in order to give him the hint. It is criticized by the critics. We cannot exclusively say that the music or the song was done in this context, but as she says that this was done in order to cool or calm Bassanio, so he may choose the right casket. Bassanio, as I told you, appears at his best in his speech. Indeed, it is surprising that one more important thing here that comes out from Bassanio's character, because we have seen Bassanio was very spendthrift, kharchila, and he did not have money. Therefore, he borrowed money on the guarantee of Antonio from Shylock. That's we have seen. So he was a man of spendthrift. So it is a surprising thing how he should not have been deceived with ornament, deceived with the false appearance. So he must have chosen the gold casket, he must have chosen the silver casket, they are the ornament, but he was not deceived. So this is a surprising factor why he chose the leaden casket, whereas he was a spendthrift, he was एक तरह से खर्चीला व्यक्ति के रूप में था वो, तो फिर भी उसने जो है कि गोल्डन और सिल्वर कास्केट को क्यों नहीं चुना. दिस इज द पॉइंट, दिस इज द क्वेश्चन दैट राइजेज इन आवर माइंड ऑल्सो. सो नाउ this scene also ends with the speech, and then we will see that that Bassanio chooses the Leiden cascade, right cascade, and they all make the joyous, they all make them celebrate, they all celebrate the event. Portia and Bassanio marries, and they also exchange some gifts to each other. So here Jessica and Lorenzo are also there, and Crescenio is also with the with his fiance, and Portia is there. So the three couple, three couples will here marry at a time. So thank you very much, dear students. This is what I have for today. Next time we will meet with the new passage from the same play. Thank you very much.